What do you make of Lane Kiffin versus local TV reporters 2 days before the Egg Bowl from Florence, Alabama? Well, Dan, I'm glad you asked. And for those of you unfamiliar, I know some of you are out there living your life. You may be on the road for Thanksgiving and whatnot. Let me show you what happened. So John Sokolov is a television anchor in the state of Mississippi. And he put the following tweet up last night. Breaking. Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin plans to step down as Rebels coach Friday and head to Auburn to become the Tigers' next head coach, according to sources. Sources say the Tigers have not offered the job to anyone else. So Lane to Auburn is happening. Story soon. Lane Kiffin does not go 10 minutes of his life without making sure he is checking that app. And so he saw this. And Lane Kiffin responded, "That's news to me, John." Nice sources. And then he put a flurry of emojis that would make your head spin. I take this to mean don't allow your enemies at the table. And then Lane Kiffin went a step further. This is really where the brilliance flies into the equation. Lane Kiffin just basically takes John Sokolov's own words and then refashions them into a tweet of his own, wherein Lane Kiffin reported that Sokolov is heading to a competitor station and the station hasn't offered their anchor job to anyone else. So John Sokolov to the other station is happening, story soon. And that's really where this kind of went sideways and went into the ditch. And I stopped checking for updates after that. So I don't know what happened after that. Yeah. There is a line of thought out there with all these rumors and speculation about Lane Kiffin to Auburn. I heard a line of thought last night. Maybe you heard it too. It goes a little something like this. Well, Lane would not say that if he was going to Auburn. Let me tell you something about Lane Kiffin. Yeah, he would, because he doesn't care. So there may be some other folks out there, a normal-minded person, a person who cares about what other folks think of him, would look at that and say, oh, this guy's got me now. He figured out I'm going to Auburn. I can't shoot it down because they'll just throw those words back in my face. No. This is Nick Saban. I guess I got to say it. I'm not going to be the Alabama head coach. Don't care what happens in the future, because nothing that other folks say about you can really hurt you if you don't let it. The whole sticks and stones thing. Lane Kiffin takes it to a whole nother extreme. He turns the volume up to 11 on that philosophy. This dude is probably going to be the next Auburn head coach. But that didn't stop him from having some fun last night, did it? Now, look, there's a lot going on here. It is a widely held consensus at the moment that Lane Kiffin's going to be the next head coach at Auburn. I don't have reason to tell you that's false. I don't have reason to tell you that's decided. It may be. Just because I can't tell you doesn't mean anything. What I will tell you, though, is if Lane Kiffin to Auburn is decided, it has not stopped some other names from still inquiring about that job. It has not stopped Auburn from still being in conversation with other names about that job. Now, here is the rock and the hard place that I'm between. I can't give you the names. And that's not fun, because that is a troll tactic. And I'm well aware that there are a number of our audience, actually those kinds of folks don't watch this show, but there are a number out there who take to trying to make themselves famous this time of year by just floating names. Well, I'm actually not floating the names. I'm doing even worse than the trolls. I'm telling you, hey, there are a couple of mystery candidates, pretty big named mystery candidates that have some serious interest in this job. I don't know if they'll be offered. I don't know that. I also can't give you their names right now. How bad does that suck? Yeah, so that's where we are right now. But I will tell you this, as I will reiterate, because I told you for the first time last week, there is a lot of talk in the coaching world about the Ole Miss job. See, because the Ole Miss job is being viewed as open. The Ole Miss job is being viewed as soon to be vacated. In other words, the John Sokolov protocol is in effect. Hope I'm saying his name right. And so there's a lot of talk while everyone else is focused on Kiffin and Auburn. There's an assumption he's going to Auburn. And so a lot of other folks are trying to figure out, okay, who's going to take the Ole Miss job? Who's going to be in contention for that job? And I'm just saying, hopefully I'll have the freedom to talk about it more Sunday, but there is a lot of chatter about some names that you probably don't think would be on the move and some names that you think are pretty fixed in their current location. I'm talking about good names. I'm talking about coaches I like. And so selfishly, I'm kind of rooting for it. But I'm going to be responsible and keep my mouth shut right now. I'm just saying it's probably decided. But before we go off of this topic, let me remind you, as Meemaw used to say, Josh, there are only 3 reasons why rumors are allowed to persist this time of year. The first possibility is they're just true. The second possibility is they're being used as a convenient smokescreen so the real work can happen behind the scenes. The third reason is they're being used as leverage against someone's current employer. And that's what Meemaw told me, and it was just as true then as it is now. One of those 3 things is true, people, and we're going to figure it out sooner rather than later.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.